Hi everyone. I thought I would let you know how I use my blow dryer brush. It's a Revlon Volumizer. This is not sponsored, but I've saw so many people do tutorials with these, and I just really feel like they're not getting the most out of it. If you're someone like me that has straight hair on top and curly hair on the bottom, you always have to find tools that work. I used to have to do a blow dryer in a round brush, followed by a blow dryer and a paddle brush, and then a straightener after. So I haven't gotten rid of my straightener because after I do this, I won't run it through the straightener, but tomorrow when I wake up, if I'm going out, my hair will be a bit messy. I won't be going through and washing it all over again. I'll just run the bottom through a straightener. So hopefully this helps you learn a little bit how to use your blow dryer brush and get some tips and tricks along the way. So to prep my freshly washed hair, I just have some spray and leave-in conditioner. I don't put a lot of other stuff in my hair to start off just because I don't want all that stuff stuck in these bristles. I find it enough times at the end I'm pulling out enough of my hair. Again, if you're a round brush person, you know what I'm talking about. It does clog things up really quickly, and I don't want there to be any problems with the air vents. So it's just some leave-in conditioner, and then I did comb through just so that the bristles don't get stuck in this. And then what I do next is just section off top and bottom. I just use one of these Dollarama springy elastics just because when I take them out of my hair, I find they don't pull all the hair out with it like a lot of things. So I just put it up and I start with the bottom and then I take down the next part in a bit by bit. So I'll show you a little bit of how I do it, but this will get a little loud, so it'll be more of a demo first, then I'll show you, and then I'll just go through and do the rest of my hair. Then at the end, I'll show you how I use it as a styling tool as well. So first off, when I do it, most people will just take it and do it like this, but I like a little bit more bounce to my hair. I know it'll look a little big when I'm done, but my hair tends to fall because it is flat on top. So I try to give it as much volume to start with. So when I do mine, I actually lift up my blow dryer brush, turn it under, and pull it out. And then that, even you can see that there's just already more volume from doing that than there is on this side. And I haven't even turned the brush on yet. So just stay tuned. So the next thing you should know is that there's a high, a low, and a cool setting on this. For me, I have to use the high just so that I can get through the curls and make them straight. But if you have thinner hair or fine hair or you don't need a lot of heat to dry your hair, I'm sure that the low will work. I use the low for more of the styling part of it after, and then the cool to set the style in. So see, it is loud. There's air coming flowing through all of this. That's why you should hold it here because this gets really hot. So you can already see that it's straight, but there's a lot longer than the curly side. And I'm going to finish doing all of the bottom, and I'll come back to you. So as you can see, the bottom's all dry. I wore this just because I normally do this with a towel around my neck. Just so you know that when when you're doing it, it falls and hits your neck, your hair is usually still pretty hot. So be careful of that. That's why I wear something a little more protective of my neck. But while I didn't do it so that you guys could see, just doing the bottom and straightening it took me 5 minutes. I timed it. So I only have the top to do now. And it's a little bit more because I usually do more styling with the top of it. But it starts out as the same process. So like I said, I go all the way up and I get a lot of that to dry it. And then I'll come back and show you how I'll style it. Okay, so that was another 2 minutes just to do the top to get it dry. And just so you know, in the past, it would take me 10 minutes with a round brush, another 5 minutes with a paddle brush, and then 10 minutes with a straightener. And really, like, I'm good to go right now if I needed to. And then tomorrow again, if this was a little bit got a little out of hand, I would just run a straightener through it tomorrow. But I'm going to show you a few tricks to actually use your styler so that you can do a little bit more with it too. So now I have it on the low setting. I just don't want to end up with any frizz after. But what I usually do is take this now and curl it one way and curl it the opposite way, and it gives it a little bit more flare. So, like I said, I'll first do it like this, and turn it under, leave it for a couple seconds, and roll it until it's straight. But then take the same section, it will be warm, so be careful. Pull it up, down, leave it for a few seconds like you would a curling iron. Let it just fall out. So you get a little bit of a flip there. And if you don't really want it that flippy, you can just comb it through and comb it out. So there's a few different tricks that I do with this. That's one. Another one is I'll often curl this side right in at an angle. I just kind of pull and twist and pull and twist till I get all the way to the end of the hair. Ends up with a little bit more shape. I'll usually run some product in at the end to define it a bit more. But then you can do the same thing here. You can flip it out and then put it back. It looks really nice that way because it's giving a flip, and then you can do the same thing layer by layer. So I'll just do a few things and I'll come back and show you the final product. So there was one more thing. I want to show you how to get a little bit more lift at the crown of your head. So I just gather a bunch of hair at the crown. Again, brush it through. Then I brush it forward. Give it a couple seconds and pull it out. You see, and you flip it back and straighten it down. You get that little bit of a lift there. So if that's helpful to you at all, hopefully it is. It gives a little bit more volume at the back, especially if you lie down, you end up with that flat spot a lot. So this just helps at the back get a little bit more lift, and I'll show you when I'm done. So as you can see, my hair has a lot of bounce, a lot of lift. You can't tell that it's flat at the top and wavy and curly at the bottom. And sometimes I'll do a last pass through with the way I just did it on the cool setting. It is again a loud setting, not so it's more like the high setting for loudness. So I don't want you to have to sit through it, but it's just easy enough to flip your hair, curly your hair. A lot of ways that you would spend a lot of time to do your hair, and I did mine in less than 15 minutes. So let me know in the comments if you have one of these, how you use it, and if any of these tips and tricks were helpful. Bye everyone.